Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today a scenario by Elwalthiar. We're going to be playing as the SMS Dresden. The backstory: it is 1914, you're the commander of SMS Dresden, one of the newest light cruisers in the Imperial German fleet. You were just returning from an escort duty to Cuba when the news reaches you via wireless. Germany and France are at war. So are Austria, Hungary and Serbia. Your patrol orders are scrapped, and via the same transmission you receive new orders. Your orders are to go and link up with the German East Asia Squadron via Cape Horn. Also, you are to commence commerce raiding on French shipping on your way there immediately. And then the transmission suddenly cuts off. Luckily, your coal bunkers are full. You steam south, and after a few days you spot the prize. A military convoy heading to French Guiana. Your spotters report clearly 6 French transports and an older armored cruiser with 2 protected cruisers as her escorts. Your orders: disable or destroy the transports, avoid the warships, but you think to yourself, well, if I get the chance, I will engage some of the warships from a somewhat safe distance too. I have a slight tech advantage. I like how the scenario is 1914, but my tech is 1909. This means that the ship, of course, was ordered a bit earlier. And a few years later, fully commissioned, fully crewed, fully ready. Starting range is a mere 8,000, which means I could be right in the middle of the transports. I could be right on top of the heavy cruiser. I don't know. We'll just have to see. This is going to be part of a new series, of the SMS Dresden series, that is. He says, in general, you will always be outnumbered, mostly outgunned, but you will have better tech. Unless you really piss off the British. So, let's get to designing a light cruiser capable of sustaining some hits and getting rid of a heavy and a light cruiser. Okay. I don't think I've used this hull too many times. This one... yeah, well, no. What's up with this? This looks weird. Let me guess. I can go to 10,000, but I cannot go... no. I cannot go to 12. Alright, 10,000 tons it is. This is the SMS Dresden. It's not going to be a historical build. It's just going to be a build of my own. Okay, we're firing coal. That's clear. We are working with turbines, which immediately takes a whole chunk of weight off. And let's improve the armor. Okay, when it comes to the crew, I'm going to say we have a regular crew. They're not anything special. They're just, well, they're fairly well trained. Front tower. Good lord, that thing has an antenna and a half on it. Secondary tower. Then the funnels. How much engine efficiency am I going to need? Whoa, that is terrible. Forced boilers. Jeez. I think 30 knots might be pushing it. Let's go to 25 knots. Because now I have 100% engine efficiency, now I have 92, and this still gives me quite a bit of displacement to upgrade some stuff. Install anti-flooding systems, and make sure that I can keep this ship alive. When it comes to range finding, let's go with a coincidence rangefinder and advanced radio telegraph to be able to spot the enemy. Gun-wise... oh. That's unfortunate. No, it does want to fit. I can go with 7 inchers, which will do quite a bit of damage. The problem is, they take up a lot of room. 2 6-inchers... with overlapping forward-facing fields of fire, means that I can engage a target frontally pretty well. I can also put them in these little slots here. This warship's gonna have quite a bit of firepower. I like it. That's better than I'd expected. Okay, we're going to fire ballastite, and we are going to be using ballastite to get... sorry, we're going to be using TNT-1 as an explosive charge. Heavy shells, let's get some barbette armor installed. I would like an auxiliary engine and a better shaft. What else am I going to need? Not that much. I need armor, sure. Let's set that up first. Let's say I'm going to have a 4-inch main armor belt, a 2-inch fore, and a 2-inch aft. Mid-deck is going to be a whole 1-inch, fore-deck 1-inch, aft-deck 1-inch. Conning tower, I'll take 4, superstructure 2-inch. Guns, 4-inch. Top of the guns, 2-inch. Do I have casemates? Oh yeah, I do. A couple of 3-inchers there. I still have quite a bit of displacement left. This is actually pretty comfortable. Could I increase speed? No, not that much, but I can just probably round it out at about 27 knots. Engine efficiency is 65%. This thing weighs 400 tons. I could drop back to 26 knots. But with that, I cannot afford another funnel, and I only have one option. I could go with underwater torpedo launchers, but their firing arcs are extremely restricted, so I'm not very eager to go with that. I suppose I could put a couple of 4-inchers there. Barbettes don't work on this hull. Can you put a single 7 there? No. I could put a single 6 over there. Can I put one there? Yes. Surprise, surprise. And then these here. Does give me a bit of an aft weight offset issue. I don't really know how to balance that, actually. Beyond just putting another gun right behind it. That would do it. This thing is gonna have a pretty heavy broadside for a light cruiser from 1909. Pretty impressive. Can I go for max bulkheads? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's just add a bit more to the armor. Bit more fore armor belt, aft belt, mid belt. 5-inch in the conning tower. Superstructure's too heavy. Can we get 6? Yes, that's maximum armor on a light cruiser. 6-inch. Okay, off we go. The SMS Dresden against a convoy. Alright, here we go. It looks like the transports are absolutely massive. They should be easy targets. It will, however, depend on where the game places down my light cruiser. Where is the Dresden? The enemy's to the north, so that's where we're going. Turning circle, as you can see, is not great on the Dresden. So I'd better keep my distance from the enemy torpedo boats. Dodging those might prove difficult. Oh no. Oh, that is not good. The first thing I encounter is the heavy cruiser. It seems to have a ton of casemates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 16 5-inch guns. And 4 9-inch guns. I am very hesitant in my ability to pen that ship. Yeah, ricochets. Can I burn it down? Because I do get some bonuses later down the line in the next scenario if I'm able to get rid of some of the warships. Let's see, slow down a bit. I hope to get better accuracy. Really uninterested in getting hit by those 9-inch guns. Killing the light cruisers would probably be more beneficial. The thing is, they're smoked up. Oh crap! There's the torpedo boat. 4 clicks out. And there is one of my targets. One of the transports has been spotted 7 kilometers away. Heavy cruiser, 91% ID. I still think the game gives you a bit too much information when you have a ship fully ID'd. I get it for gameplay purposes, but I don't know why I would know what sort of training their crew has. How can you see that, for example, through studying an enemy ship for 8 minutes? Less, actually, because I didn't spot them instantly. Stuff like that, I think the game gives you a bit too much information. Same for what caliber they have. I mean, sure, it's nice to know exactly what sort of firepower this light cruiser can bring to bear. This light cruiser can bring to bear 12 4-inch guns. Okay. But I think it would add to satisfaction, maybe skill level, if you will, if you're able to recognize that and then go, okay, I think those are 4, maybe 5-inch guns, probably no bigger than that. That means I have to stay pretty far away from them. Or I don't have to stay very far away from them, because my armor might be able to take it. Let's see. Transports are here. Now, somebody suggested in the comments of a previous video where I did a convoy raid that it would be probably beneficial to the AI if they had a system where the escort ships were always set to screen the transports. So either screen transports or go on the offensive against the attacker, which in this case is the lonely Dresden. By, once again, heading in the opposite direction as opposed to the transports, they're just leaving them to die. And that is quite sad. And the screen command is there. There. I have no idea what's going on with the buttons though, why they're fuzzy like that. It's the first time I'm seeing it. It's with all the buttons. I tried restarting the game, but it's still there. I have no idea. Never mind my last. The problem was that for some reason, I think the patch did it, my textures were set to low. So I flipped the textures back to high and fixed it is. The textures are good as they normally are. Still weird. Why would a patch change the textures? Oh well. Now, these transports appear to be completely abandoned by their escorting groups. So they should be easy pickings. I would actually be pleasantly surprised if 1 or 2 of the torpedo boats would be among the group here. As a sort of, hey, we're not completely abandoning this group, we're gonna surprise you. But I am afraid it's not quite gonna turn out that way. Now the scenario creator said, sink the transports. If you can get more kills, that's probably going to benefit you in future scenarios. So if I can turn around after eliminating the transports and get kills on the light cruiser and potentially a few torpedo boats, that would help me. Of course, getting rid of the heavy cruiser might help me even more, but I'm not sure to what extent I can pull that off without losing the Dresden herself. And I'd rather not have that happen. I would very much appreciate to keep the Dresden alive. Let's see, you're not armed. You're not armed. You're not armed. You're not armed. Good. None of these ships is a threat. Even if they were, I think the middle belt should be fine. 4 belts and aft belts, not so much. But they probably wouldn't be able to do that much damage. This thing is heading in the opposite direction. At 12.7 knots. Not terribly quick. These guys are heading away at 12.7 as well. It's like they're all exactly the same design. Same design, same tonnage. Yeah. I thought the AI normally created a few different designs. But maybe they spawned all of these in... No, not in one div, because there are already 2 different divs. That's weird. Oh well. Means we can pretty easily take them down. Let's increase speed. I don't really need a ton of accuracy here, since these things are so easy to hit. But I do need to be able to get back to my convoy. I mean, the escort ships. I didn't check to see how fast those light cruisers and the heavy cruiser were. No, we're going to turn starboard. Bring the port guns to bear from the Dresden on the Fresno. And hopefully eliminate that thing quickly, as we're already turning back to deal with the other transports. Because I have found that if you are not careful, you might find that the transports are very difficult to find. One of the missions, for example the Taskmaster one that I did last week, I couldn't find them at all. And since ships in this day and age aren't that fast, I mean 26 knots is probably already pushing it, I have to be pretty picky about my engagements. There we go, that one's down. See, I already lost one. I know it's there-ish, close to the Jean Rollier, but I don't know much beyond that. And again, the AI leaves their, well, their wards completely defenseless. Which is why I considered not taking this scenario, but, well, every time I get my hopes up. Every time I think, you know what, maybe the AI this time around is actually going to try and put up a fight, but of course, no. It's an algorithm, it's a system, it doesn't work that way. It's just going to pretty much do the same thing every time. With the last transport, the Alger, slipping beneath the waves, it's time to hunt down the rest of the convoy. They are somewhere to the southwest, and that's about all I can tell you. How far away? I don't know. I'm looking for smoke screens. So that's usually a pretty safe bet about where the light cruisers are. It's the only visual distinction you can get as well. Because heavy cruisers don't really give you a smoke screen, and neither do torpedo boats. So far, 20 to 30, 35 kilometers out, nothing. So this could take a while. Not too much longer. The the Jules Michelet comes back out of the smoke screen, or out of the fog. It's 17,876 tons, so she's not that much heavier than my ship. She's probably less expensive. 9.1 million versus my... Sorry, my 9.1 million versus their 5.9. Let's see. My chance to hit and pen is not great. Maybe I can burn them down, especially since they have few bulkheads. That means that their damage control is limited. They're not packing torpedo tubes. How good's their chance to pen me? Pretty good, 50-50. Let's try and take the light cruiser first, because I have vastly more firepower than they do. Yes, they have all those 4-inchers, but my 6-inchers hit a lot harder. So let's switch to auto selector, which probably means the 3-inchers are going to stick to their high explosive, but the 6-inchers are going to go with armor piercing. The thing is that the ship is hard to hit. Even at this range, a smokescreen really throws off your aim. Let's immediately switch the secondaries over to that torpedo boat. Oh, there's another one. Torpedo boat's even worse to hit. Yeah, we're doing 20.7, so we're cruise speed. Let's switch targets. Flooding. Yes. Let's see if we can flood out some of these torpedo boats. They're not prime targets. The primary targets was just killing off all the transports, but the fewer ships the German Navy has... Oh, sorry, the French Navy. I am the German Navy. The fewer ships the French Navy has, probably the better for me. Torpedo launchers with a range of 2 kilometers, so I'm still well unsafe outside of their range. What are you planning? That one has torpedo range of 3. Bulkheads, standard. Dresden, we're going to turn to port. Maintain distance. Smoke up. Taken a little bit of damage. We've lost 10 crew members so far. But that is nothing compared to what the Germans have... Sorry, I did it again. To what the French have lost. What was the plan of this light cruiser? It's like it came charging in and then reconsidered. Let's increase to full speed to try and catch him. Normally I can do 26 knots, but with a little bit of damage I can't. Give me high explosive. At this angle my ricochet is too high. And your speed, somewhere around 25. 23.6. Chance to hit, 2.4%. Yeah, that's not going to go up very well, unfortunately. Still 2.3. At least I don't have a lack of ammo. Bulkheads, few. 1 or 2 floodings would very much help me. Come on, pop out of your smoke screen. There we go. Flooding. And a rudder has been damaged. 21.8, 21.4, 21, 20 knots, 19 knots, 18. Now we have you. 16 knots. You're out of your smoke screen. I can close the distance. Where are your torpedo launchers? Oh shit, a torpedo boat just materialized. Bow and stern, no port and starboards. There's the torpedo boat. Oh, it's the catapult. Already done some damage, but nothing too serious against them. I just spotted an opportunity against the heavy cruiser. It's a lack of ammo on their part. I have a reduced complement of shells, which means that if they're out of 9s, they're going to reduce their firepower to 5s. 5-inch guns, let's say 2.5 kilometers out, 9.1 inches of armor. I don't want to get to 2.5 kilometers then. 5,000 meters, 6 inches of armor is what they can pen, so they can pen my bow, stern, superstructure. Still not a very appealing prospect. Come on, now we have him. 11%, 12. Come on, Dresden. Have at it. Partial pen. Where are your torpedo launchers? Bow and stern. But you're gonna have to turn pretty far in order to bring those torpedo launchers on the bow to be useful. Let's close the distance a bit more. Hopefully not turning too much to throw off my aim. Just gotta close in enough. There we go. 49% structural integrity, buoyancy 44, 45. There's another flooding. Interestingly, none of their engines have been damaged, but their rudder has. Those 4-inch guns could be getting more dangerous, but I think they're not going to be here for very long. There we go. Turn hard to port. Fire everything at the torpedo boat. High explosive. The heavy cruiser still 5.9 kilometers out, but holding fire as it does not have enough ammo. I still think this needs to be adjusted, because yes, it does have enough ammo, and it does have a decent amount of accuracy. It should be firing, arguably. Ideally, I would also take down the other light cruiser. I just need to try and find it. Oh, there you are. Catapult is down. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to put that on fire very well. Maybe. Oh, crap, another torpedo boat. Take that thing out first. Nothing? I know it's a small target, but come on. I had a range of 2 kilometers on the torpedoes. I'm going to throw my own aim off. Oh, beautiful. That was a good flooding. That thing's going to slow right down. The other light cruiser is the Montcalm. Completely intact. Catapult T2. Look at that buoyancy. Look at that buoyancy. No anti-flooding system. Nothing. Impressive, but not in the right kind. Well, this is lovely. I just had my mic muted for a bit. So, there was no commentary. My bad. I kept trying to suppress coughing by just quickly muting it and unmuting it, but apparently I muted it a little too much. Apologies. Come on. Oh! Another torpedo boat. And the heavy cruisers decided to start taking some chances again. Montcalm, 2.5 kilometers away. Pen, no flooding. I was just complaining mostly about how good these guys are with their flooding control. The way that they were able to go from 50, 60 to 100 again is impressive. Flex tape must work fantastically well on this ship. Come on. I keep getting pens, but no floodings. Partial pens, ricochets, ricochet, ricochet. Switch to high explosive. Accuracy 17%. I'd love to put a fire. Just to give their damage control party something to do. Destroyed secondary tower. Well, that's a start. Oh shit, they threw a torpedo my way. Yeah, there it is. That'd be a pretty terrible way to go. If I would get hit, considering that the AI seems to get damage control bonuses, especially when it comes to countering flooding. If I get hit, I probably wouldn't do nearly as well in recovering my buoyancy. And I really don't want to have the Dresden this far away from home, plodding along at a few knots. Especially since I have my two funnels very close together, so my engines are going to be directly underneath that. Here we go, she's flooding again. 3 sectors. Her control is slightly worse after taking some losses to her crew, which means that her damage control... No, her damage control is still better than usual. Because her sailors are just regular trained. There we go, more flooding. Slow that thing down so I can catch it. All the while I'm still firing high explosive at him, because I think my pen chance... Yeah, it's still 48, because I have a very high ricochet. I'm firing almost directly from their stern. That's another funnel out of commission. That means their engine efficiency is going to go down. If they can get rid of the water, and I doubt it, damn it, then they're not going to be able to speed up very quickly, so it gives me even more opportunities to catch them. I'm probably sooner rather than later going to have to disengage because I'm going to run out of ammo. Light cruiser price, 3.8 million. Torpedo boats, 1 million. Heavy cruiser? 5.9, right. Versus my 9.1. Very expensive warship, the Dresden. But then again, she was built with newer technology than the Montcalm. And the Jules. Ricochet. High, but going down. Almost the entire ship is now on fire. The fire seems to be spreading out of control. Just look at how quickly the fire damage is ticking up. There we go, heavy flooding took her out. Okay, can we get the torpedo boat before we go home? Maybe. Especially with that lucky flooding hit. Slow down, slow down, slow down. I'm gonna catch you. How fast are you? 17 knots. But these guys have an incredible ability to get rid of water. Although these compartments seem to be pretty stuck. 16 knots. Easy pickings. Torpedo range was still 2. There's more flooding. Dresden has lost 20 crew members, that's it. 15% structural. I didn't build this thing completely overpowered, I think. But it does seem like the AI is struggling with it a lot to try and do damage against it. Insofar as they're even trying. Because the torpedo boats are not even making an effort to go at it, launch torpedoes. They're just sort of following the heavy cruiser, I guess. Part of the formation. Yeah, there we go. This thing is going down. Well, I say that. Come on. Yes, no, maybe. 3 damaged engines. Your conning tower has been damaged. Your rudder has been damaged. Basically nothing is working on this ship. And they have lost 30% of their crew. Come on. Take it out. 15% buoyancy. How does this ship look? It's just dead in the water. It's not going anywhere. You need to hit him in the bow in order to get more flooding. There we go. That was it. Okay, time to beat a retreat. We still have 323 rounds left. 307 for the 3-inchers. We came here to do an attack on the convoy. And we completed that attack. The convoy is down. Only the Jules Michelet has survived. And I'm okay with them surviving. Now let's see how badly this is going to impact the next scenario. So join me for that one next time around. Thank you for watching this one. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you guys soon for more videos.